Okay, do you see that right there? That big yellow thing? What's that? That's a deer, and it's running away from work. Yeah, it's running away from work. And if this wagon's made 2 attempts to run away from work this year. Once it broke one of the dogs for the ratchet. You can see that with this wire we have here wrapped around this dog to keep the reverse lock dog from hitting the ratchet gear. Now, I guess we'll throw this in there. Welcome back to Bame Farm. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, it's our John Deere 115 chuck wagon. And I guess we'll show you the red wagon up close. But this has a 1 gear for reverse and 1 gear for forward, which this is the forward and this is the reverse. And the teeth are angled at a different direction on each one. Here's kind of our cam arm circling around, and it moves this other arm with what I guess they would call the dogs or the ratchet teeth. And you see this piece in here where the dogs rub against it to keep them from engaging the teeth of the gear that control the movement of the floor. Well, the one that broke off snapped off right about where my fingers running across. So this chunk of metal over here in the casting was not riding on, I guess we'll say, the lockout mechanism to keep it from engaging the teeth on the gear. So we had to wire this one back. And the reason why we had to put this one back in, now this was the one on reverse. We just flipped these around. So this one hasn't been used in forever. We don't have a good reason to reverse it. We reversed this wagon once when we had it full of ear corn and just pushed the ear corn out the back onto the slab where the calves are. There weren't many calves. There were maybe, if at most, 4 calves along that back row. And this front row, there was nothing. So we had a nice, clean slab of concrete, and we dumped the ear corn out so we could scoop it up and put it into a gravity wagon. That was before I had that little elevator. Hopefully you guys have gone back and viewed the transferring ear corn videos, and we're using our little Cub International elevator. Okay, so back to this heap of entertainment. Yeah, we switched these 2 around. But if you see, this side's easier access, there's a coil spring, or whatever, a torsion spring, that keeps these 2 dogs engaged towards the gears. So the reason we have this one wired back is so this spring will push this dog to hold the bed from moving. These 2 just keep the bed from moving on the back side. So that broke. We did our 50-cent fix with the wire. Because lovely Mean Green Machine wants $124 for that little chunk of cast iron. I like my 50 cents a wire. Okay, so the next thing for avoiding work. We can see we've got some silage on here. Hurricane Nate came through last, I guess, weekend. Yeah, it's been that long. Over last weekend. Today is October 11th, I believe. Yeah. Clean that bit of schmutz off. So we have the back opened up to clean the silage out. Now what broke? Well, that's awfully loose. The floor chain's really loose. Yes, the floor chain broke on the right side. And we look underneath. Oh, that's dangling down. Loose parts. That can't be good. Yes, this has come apart here and there and there and up there and back here. So we got a few links to put in it. Now, this happened while Dad was feeding after it rained from the hurricane, and we had this wagon full. So we had our silage get rained on, and you can see Dad had this thing when he chopped it, about to the top, and it settled a foot just in the wagon. So there's a lot of water added to it to make it extra heavy. So that didn't help the chain out. And so now I am tasked with getting the chain to an easier spot so we can work on it. Now we can take the tension off here in the back. If we really wanted to, we could probably even take these drive sprockets off. I don't know if that would make life any easier. It could, because these are the slip and slide. I believe this is a 67H link, and it's a dry link where you twist and slide them sideways to get them out. Now with one hand, that's hard to demonstrate. So I'm going to get back to you guys when I get a few tools back here and can play with things to break them back together. So this thing can't avoid work. Oh yeah, one last thing. A few years ago, we had the rear axle just fall out on us. Wagon was empty. Yes, empty wagon. We added this angle iron. I drilled those holes to more sturdily support this back end. Because the tube was starting to slide out of the front and twist back here. It only had that one bolt holding, I guess, this top piece, this frame support that is maybe more directly mounted to the box, and it would swivel side to side. Well, I made that solid mount. The axle is solidly mounted underneath the box, so hopefully it won't twist and won't fall off again. And that is why I do not like green machines. And this is why this is the only one we have, rather begrudgingly. I do have one nice thing to say. This folds down. It should fold down. Hold on. It folds down for easy unloading. Like the red wagon, I gotta pull really close. That's nicer and easier to unload in the blower. That's about the only nice thing I gotta say about this. Okay, back with tools and more work. We have a lot of play now. I took the tension off everything in the back so we could push our tensioner sprockets in the very back here all the way in. And that gives us play to get these links apart. But you almost have to bend, you bend them as such backwards and they'll slide side to side. Usually you might have to get a screwdriver or something to pry that apart. Or if I'm taking a link out, I'll just cheat and cut it out. So really, the hard part to figure out is what we're doing back here. Now, the easiest way is to send this bottom part up and around the front instead of bringing everything back to the back. And hopefully, oh, that broke. Oh, yeah. Of course, it's usually these bar links that break, not the ones in between. At least I can get that back in there. Okay. Catch you guys on the top side as I pull this through. I don't know what that might still be connected to, if anything. And I hope Dad bought more than just 2 links. Yep, of course that's got a long stringer tail. Oh boy. I don't even know what we have left in the front because there's still a bunch of silage in the way. Just lovely. Yeah, we didn't clean that extra stuff up too well. And I got the silage fork out of there, so that's good. Brad has the TC. He's moving pigs. So I got 29 out. And Brad's kind of worried that we put too many hours on it. We put 200 hours on the oil change. It's probably getting there, but I think our hours of use on the 29 are going to be pretty low here soon. Unless I get some big orders for ear corn, we'll have both pickers going. We'll see. We'll see. If I'm using the 28 with the Ford picker. They're a little far.
Yeah, I can get it closer.
That's not a good sign. Come on. There we go. Whew. That was close. PTO is a little slow. Well, I mean, I got the steering to work and the 3-point went up, so... Yeah, we're having our hydraulic issues we haven't addressed, because... Yeah. It has to be primed by the other pump, right?
No.
Oh.
With the old pump.
Like, it was very slow.
It might be that there's water in the bottom of this, so it's going to act like it's starting to blow on.
Oh, maybe. On the ground in?
Yeah.
Should be. It's a little heavy from all the water. Chain in place. There's a fun sight. Looks like the back of an unloading table. This utterly drives me nuts leaving a mess like this, especially knowing it's going to rain. But I had people who wanted to do stuff, so I was in a rush. Brad didn't want to go along, and I left early. Isn't it just dizzying watching the spinner? Whee! Yeah, we've had a wet week after Nate. It's sprinkling almost every day. Yeah, we got about 3 inches or so, all total. And it's still cloudy today. Stuck a couple of hay deliveries in between rain showers. Almost, at least a little bit. Do we have another floor support breaking up there?
What?
You see that dip? We have another floor support that's broke?
Just the same in the plywood right there.
No, farther up. Right there.
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
I just probably need to.
Well, you can see we have re-welded that support. It's not tight. I wouldn't say it's the most well supported or welded in place.
No.
Like I said, I haven't named many things I like about this wagon. Okay, let's see where we're at. I got the chain, we got the wagon all cleared off. We got the chain, pull it out. This came out the front at Dad while he was feeding. This link is shot. But there's one up there at the very front. Quick hop up here. This bar link is still good. And this bar link is still good. So between the two, we've got 2 good bar links, and we'll only have to remove 1 bar. So it'll be missing like that much space, which isn't too terribly bad to not have that bar in there. And hopefully the 2 extra links that Dad got is enough, because the next bar would have been right here. Now, if we broke that link on that side and this link, yeah, we might be a link short, unfortunately. Oh, that one still looks good on that end. Still in one piece. And this one's okay, except for this thing we gotta grind off. And these are riveted either, so you cut the rivets, then we'll put a bolt back in it. And that's a good one still. And this is a dry link chain. Obviously you don't oil it. You've seen these a lot in older manure spreaders. Don't know how well they lasted, because we don't have that old manure spreader anymore. I'm surprised that didn't, well, that's why that didn't fall out. So I might have to run to Fayetteville and get a couple more links. Or at least they've got them. The old hardware store over there is good for having some odds and ends like this stuff. And Dad's getting the grinder rounded up so we can do some cutting to free ourselves over here. I don't know which bar we're going to use. Whether theoretically, we only have to like cut this rivet and use that piece of chain as it is, and then only cut one rivet up there, as I don't have to put in too many extra bolts. Okay, if many of you haven't figured out, the grinder is our favorite tool. These are riveted together. The other one we have taken apart as such. We can leave this link for the bar and then just take the bar out with this link over here still together. So hopefully I did enough grinding to just punch this out. Of course it's never that simple, unfortunately, but we'll see. Dad said he just punched it out. It's probably not going to do that for me unless I do that, and I don't need to punch it out. It could be a little hard on the chain. We have moved it. Ow. That could be bad for my thumb. Really bad. Oh, come on. I talk about eye on the ball. Okay, so it's going to be a bunch of hammering and whatnot. Well, I need to bolt that, but I got that link slid back together. And crazily enough, having it all the way tight, yes, we could probably just get away with putting one link in here. So I sent Dad on a wild goose chase to get more links, and we didn't need to. Now the fun part will be, if I get enough twist, you slide these links together. They're almost at 90 degrees. If they start together, that means it's really loose. And the fun part will be having enough twist to get this all together at the very, very end. I asked Dad to see if there was any sort of master link in this. Like the Ford corn picker has a link. I mean, they're just like this on the elevator, this dry style, smaller size link. But there's one of them where it's specially set up, there's a pin you can take apart and easily pull a link out and then put the pin back in without having to go up to the top of the elevator and adjust tension. This goes together straight, halfway. Now, that one wasn't bad. I'm sure when they're brand new, they're really tough. Now, I still gotta get this one apart. I guess I could be nice. There's not a whole lot to hammer on, geez. I'm just probably gonna cut that off. Cut the slit a little wider and slide it off by hand, real easy. And we got another one over here to do. Guess we can just kind of tap it against the side of the wagon here. And then you should slide right together, but that one's twisting on me. I don't think these are directional. So that link isn't twisted, which that could be problematic. Because we're right there and it's hitting. Ugh. Joy, joy. It's always got to be something. Everybody's getting something. Come on. A little extra hammering, maybe that'll work. There we go. It'll slide past eventually. Now we have these two ugly links to remove. Well, we're trying it out, seeing how things work. It's moving forward. Things are turning. Unfortunately, I think there was one bar missing. You see that bolt? It's coming around where we put it in. And unfortunately, well, we have a big wide open space. I think we're actually was already missing a bar before this last one just broke. Good. Did you grease these as they went around?
Yeah.
No.
Stop it for a second. Get the bar in.
What? we can probably still get it. Well, it'll be difficult.
What?
I'd say we could reverse it, but
Those are almost too close together.
no, they're only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 links between. Yeah. Or do we bring it around and try to pop those out and move the links?
We'll put a bar in there so we've got a nice long stretch.
Yeah. Okay. I know those gullies have been bolted in. Oh, wow. So they must have had a real stretch of problems. Somebody did. And that link is incredibly bent.
Yeah.
Think that's okay?